Hello guys, it's Chumazart here doing another Weekly Blaze. This time is the Nintendo Direct Weekly Blaze. I usually do these whenever Directs happen. Also, quick note, this is the second to last Weekly Blaze before the future ones go unlisted. Should have a community post out about this, and I'll talk about more next time. And I already talked a little bit about it in the last Weekly Blaze, but yeah. Basically, doing an experiment with unlisting them to see how it affects my other videos, but yeah, anyway. So for the direct, yeah, it's actually happening sooner than I thought. I was gonna start this up on Monday night. It is Monday night. It's 11:30 p.m. But I thought I'd have more time to make this. Except it's Tuesday morning. Like it just came out of nowhere. I thought they'd announce it like 2 days before, but no, it's just day before. And for me, since I wake up, late, basically woke up to the announcement. It's happening at the end of the day for me. Since again my sleep schedule's weird, but yeah. It's at 9 a.m., which is about 9.5 hours from now, so I'll still be awake for that. But as per usual, gotta do predictions. As far as what I think will happen, that's a difficult one. So, we all know the Switch 2 is happening next year at this point, like that's pretty obvious, so they said there's no Switch 2. What do they even have left that they could do for the rest of this year, potentially early next year? Well, let's go through everything. First up, I don't think we're going to see any like big Mario games or anything, but I could see a Mario sports game. I think Mario Baseball would be a really good option here. We have golf, tennis, and strikers. This would be a really nice one to have. I think everyone wants Mario Baseball at this point, so do that one. After that, I don't think we're going to see Legend of Zelda at all. I don't, then. After that, Kirby and Yoshi, I feel like one of these will happen. I don't know which. I feel like probably Yoshi. Kirby, possibly. One of these two is gonna get a new game, I think. I don't know which, though. But, another one thing that will happen, though, is Donkey Kong. I think Donkey Kong, we need another Donkey Kong game. I mean, there's, of course, the original Donkey Kong Country trilogy on the SNES. Could we get a second trilogy going? Like a modern one? We had Returns on the Wii, Tropical Freeze on the Wii U. Where's the Switch one? That would be really nice to have. I think another Donkey Kong game is probable, so that's another one they could do. And it's a 40-minute direct as well, so they have to have some stuff. But yeah, that's already a couple of games right there. But is this enough to carry the entire thing? I don't think so. So what else can they do? Because I don't think we're going to get like F-Zero. I don't think we're getting Star Fox. Probably not Xenoblade. I guess they could do Xenoblade Chronicles X, like a remake of it, but that's not like that big. I don't think we're getting Fire Emblem. Probably not Pikmin or Animal Crossing or Splatoon, ARMS. Probably not Switch Sports either. Switch Sports, if they made this game better and continued to update it, probably have more stuff or something, but probably not. So, okay, you got some stuff. What else can you do? Pokemon, I guess, but I don't. Usually Pokemon does their own thing, so I don't think so. I actually think one thing that I think is pretty likely here is Mother 3. I see this like every time. I think for like the past 2.5 years I've been saying Mother 3. But listen, Japan has it. If they port it, it'd be crazy. They could do a whole Earthbound collection. I mentioned this before, but they could do like all three of the games and release it for like $60. I think people would definitely buy that just for the novelty, if nothing else. But yeah. At the very least, Mother 3 on the Game Boy Advance, Switch Online, that would be a smart move. And I think it's pretty likely if they already did it for Japan, it's not unlikely for them to just port it over, I think, so that one could happen. But as far as stuff this year goes, I think that's like everything I have in mind. It's not a lot. Like, it's some stuff, but I don't know how they're doing a whole direct about it without Switch 2. Like, they have to have something in their back pocket. And that's where my final two predictions come in. One of which would not happen this year, but it'd be a huge thing to talk about. And the other one I think could tide people over very well. First up, probably the more likely of the two is Metroid Prime 4. Metroid Prime 4, it's been 7 years. Where is it? They have to, even if they restarted the whole project after announcing it, they have to have something by now. Has to be close to being done. And I think that Nintendo always does this thing. Well, not always, but they do this thing sometimes where they, announce the game, it takes a long time to develop to the point of it getting to like the next console, and then they release it on both. We see this with, well, we saw this with Zelda twice. Twilight Princess with the GameCube and Wii, and then Breath of the Wild with, the Wii U and Switch. So, Metroid Prime 4. I imagine they'll keep their promise and release it on the Switch, but I think they'll also release it on the Switch 2 as a, launch title. And that's how I think they're going to do it. Which would be pretty smart, actually. So I think that has a good chance of happening. So Prime 4, I think, is very likely here. Because again, they said no Switch 2, but hey, this isn't Switch 2. It is regular Switch. So I think that has a pretty good shot happening. Again, especially if Switch 2 is going to be happening very soon. Where is this game? Like, it has to be soon, right? And I'm just going to say right now, if we don't see Prime 4 here, or like the first Switch 2 Direct, like, there must have been some serious problems. Moving on from that, we have my final prediction. This is one that this is a pretty unlikely one, but I think it's worth mentioning, because again, not a lot of games to talk about. Again, Mother 3, potentially like a Xenoblade remake, a Yoshi or Kirby game, Donkey Kong, a Mario Sports game. It's not bad, but I feel like it's missing that power that other games give. Because not everyone cares about some of these games. Metroid Prime 4, that's a big name, but that wouldn't be this year. So we need something else. And there is one series they could always bring back out for some hype. Of course, talking about Smash. Will there be more Smash stuff? I don't think there will be. But again, unless if I'm just missing something or they really just pull out something that no one expected, I don't see them having a great catalog for the rest of the year. And it's not that it'd be bad, but there just needs to be something else to get people talking, I think. And Smash is a great one. Now you could argue this isn't necessary, because especially if the Switch 2 stuff starts happening pretty soon, then there's that for people to talk about, which makes sense. But just to tide people over, I think Smash would be a good one. Like a Fighters Pass 3. Now, it could be like a one character or a couple characters or something, or, if they do a Fighters Pass, it could just be like maybe 3 characters. It could be up to like 5 or 6 even, but still. Let's just, for the sake of it, say 5 characters, right? Sounds like a lot. Because they probably want this finished before the Switch 2, which is like less than a year away, probably. So, how are they going to figure that out? Why would they have so many characters come out in such a short time? Well, with Ultimate, they released the game in December of 18. The first DLC character was Piranha Plant, which came out in January of 19. Then Fighters Pass 1 starts in April. And we did get 5 characters going from April to January of 2020, so it isn't impossible for them to do a quick run like that. Fighters Pass 2 took much longer, of course, going from, well, it got announced in January of 20, but we didn't get our first character till June of 20, then the last one in, October of 21. But that was during the pandemic. So I think it's very possible for them to do kind of a Smash, like a Fighters Pass 1 schedule, like kind of a character coming out roughly every other month. Probably one happening today, like after the direct or something, or at least like within the next week or two. Because if you figure, like even just July, like okay, July, September, November, January, March. You could condense that even. But also, they could have worked on this stuff for a while now. So they could already have some stuff done. And have just been keeping it under wraps until it's time. Because we have, like, nothing. Like, what the only game we have is, I think, like, Luigi's Mansion 2. The remake of that, I think, that's it, I think. So, they have to have some stuff under wraps here to fill out the rest of this year and probably a little bit of next year. And I think another Smash Bros. Fighters Pass would be, like, actually perfect just to... Because they don't have to do as much for that. Like, it's a character. But Smash always hits, and people always want to see more characters. Heck, they could even do like an Echo Fighter Pass if they wanted to. Maybe, like, one new character just for the sake of, making it more interesting. So it's not just Echo Fighters, but still. They have a lot they could do here. And if they do this, I think they're going to start with Geno, which would make sense. After, Super Mario RPG just came out last year, and it's a character everyone wants. I think Geno would be a good way to start it off, especially they could maybe talk about some of the games they've released recently, and then tie that into Mario RPG, flip that into a Geno trailer. I think that'd be a good way to go about it. But anyway, I think Fighters Pass 3 is very, very unlikely, but at the same time, I just think it kind of makes enough sense. And it's something I could see them doing. Look at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or just Mario Kart 8 in general. They released this game in May of 2014. They had DLC for it. I think it was November 14 and April 15. Game sat for 2 years. April 17, they released it on the Switch as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and then no DLC happened until the February 2022 Direct. And then after that, we got waves, like 6 of them, March, August, and December of 22. I believe these are the months anyway. And then, I don't actually know what the months were. I think, was it March, July, and November of 23? I might be off. I think I'm off on that. Whatever. You get the point, though. But that was kind of the game that they brought back to kind of give hype. And people were always excited about Mario Kart. So, with that out of the picture, and us kind of being at a loss for games, because I don't imagine they're going to do anything huge for the Switch. It's probably just going to be safe for the Switch, too. So, if they're going to wait, and they don't have Mario Kart to kind of carry them anymore, well, the next thing in line is Smash to bring back. Because, again, we haven't had anything since October of 21. It's been almost 3 years. It's been a while. We're going to get a Smash 6 on the Switch too, I'm sure. But usually Smash games don't come out immediately, so I could see them just doing this, just for the heck of it, just to give us something to look at, something to get excited about. It makes sense. It'd make a lot of sense, actually. So I think Smash is, again, realistically, it's very unlikely, but just to me personally, it makes sense. I think they're going to do it. Just to carry things. But maybe I'm crazy. Very possible. I'm gonna look like there's a good chance that I come on later looking like a clown after that take right there, but just a fun take to talk about. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, if there's no Smash or Metroid Prime 4, then I'm like, they have some stuff they could do, but they're really going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel, I feel like. So hopefully there's something that I just missed that they come out with. Or, again, they do one of those, or both of those two. I think that's really necessary, because it's going to be a 40-minute Direct. Unless this is, mostly a partner showcase, which would suck. Come on. We haven't had a Direct since September. There was no February Direct. There wasn't one. There wasn't a March Direct either. I don't think so, anyway. I'm pretty sure I'm not crazy in forgetting. Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't know why I had to question that, but yeah. So we haven't had a proper Direct since September. It's been 9 months. Has to be something in the chamber here. It's kind of just a question of what do they have, because again, we know every game now. We already know, again, the only thing we don't know, or the only thing that hasn't released is, Luigi's Mansion. So what can they have here? They have to have something under wraps. Something interesting, so guess we'll find out. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do whatever I go do, and I'll come back in 9 or so hours, well not 9 hours, 10 hours probably, and then I'll talk about the Direct and what happened with that. So hopefully I come back to some cool stuff, but guess I'll have to go find out. So yeah, this is going to be a painful 9 hours. I don't want to wait. I'm just genuinely curious to what they even have. It could be nothing, honestly. It could be a kind of a waste of time, but here's hoping that they do have something to show. And yeah, next clip will be me talking about whatever that is, so hopefully future me was entertained by whatever there was. Alright, it's 10 a.m. Direct finished recently. Pretty good. Not the best, but hey, considering it's the end of Switch, probably the best I could have done, so is what it is now. I can't record later tonight, probably not. So I wanted to record something. I'll probably give some expanded thoughts later in the Weekly Blaze, but for now you're getting the overtired version of me. I have been awake far too many hours. I really need to sleep, but I'm gonna sleep immediately after this. I got ready for bed before the Direct, so I can come up here and sleep after I record. So it's a rare thing for me to do, but anyway. Let's see. Okay, so first up here, notable things. I had 7 written down. We have Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Not exactly what I was hoping for here, but I mean, they at least know Donkey Kong exists and probably are going to do something with it later. So probably new Donkey Kong on the Switch too. This is probably just to be kind of like a, hey, we know this exists kind of thing, so it's something, I'll take it. Mario and Luigi Brothership, I hope that's the name. It sounds really weird, but I'm pretty sure that was it. I'm not a Mario and Luigi person, so I'm not too big into this, but it's still cool to see. Although, man, we've had too many Mario RPGs, I'm sorry to say. Like, someone had to say it. Like Mario RPG, well, Super Mario RPG, Thousand Year Door, now this, so I guess it was the third one, so like third type of RPG, so it made sense, but that's a lot, man. Next up, oh yeah, Luigi's Mansion 2, the HD remake for Switch, that was there as well. We already knew about that one though. Super Mario Party Jamboree, another Mario Party, cool. Not my thing, but nice to see. This was a shock. I said this earlier, I think. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it. Switch Sports. Yeah, they're adding basketball. So random. Like, again, you had like 2 years to figure this out. They added golf eventually, then like they just did nothing for the rest of 2022, nothing in 2023, nothing for like the first half of 2024. Now just, yep, here's basketball. They couldn't have done like 2 sports or something. Like, I hate to be mad about it, but it's like we couldn't have gotten more. Like, it's been so long. It's been sitting there forever. Could have gotten one more. Maybe we get more though. Maybe we get more than just basketball eventually. I hope it's not just like, here's the base game, one sport coming out later. Like 2 years after that, it's like, okay, here's one extra sport. Now we're done. Like, that's so stupid. Hopefully this is just a sign of things to come. But for now, basketball is pretty cool. I'm actually just have to check that one out. And I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty good. So if it's anything like Wii Sports Resort Basketball, I will actually enjoy it for once. I haven't been the biggest fan of the game, so that'd be pretty nice. Anyway. As far as the other 2 things go, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I'm not the biggest Zelda person, especially like the kind of top-down stuff, but yeah, this is a new top-down Zelda game. It's in the style of the, I believe it was the Link's Awakening remake. It's the same kind of style, but it's actually a new game. I was thinking it was like an Oracle remake or something. Probably an Oracle remake or like Link to the Past at first, based on like some of the weird stuff that was going on. I thought maybe it was like the light world, dark world kind of thing going on in the trailer, but nope, it's a new game. Even if it's not my thing, it's still really cool to see. Reminds me a bit of like a Link Between Worlds, where it's just kind of another top-down game, not like a main game, not like a huge 3D open world game, but it's just another nice game to have. Probably pretty good. Also, I think you could probably tell I'm tired. I could tell by the way I'm talking. I am not all there. I think that's all the main stuff, except for the one thing I was saving. No Smash. I looked like a massive clown there, but kind of expected. But yeah, the last thing here is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. So we got the subtitle for the game. But yeah, Metroid Prime 4 is there. I would be way more hyped and like losing my mind, but at the same time, I saw this coming. Like, we all knew this is probably going to be delayed to like the Switch 2. But with how Nintendo is, it's probably going to be a launch title, but they're going to have to, uphold their promise to have this on Switch. So, it'll be Switch 2 launch title, but, still on Switch. Or maybe if we get lucky, it comes out a little bit before on Switch or something, but I guess that's kind of stupid. They want it to be on Switch 2. Anyway, I don't know. Probably just a launch title for Switch 2 and, comes out on Switch as well. Same day, but yeah. Yeah, this looks really cool. Really exciting to see Metroid Prime 4 actually existing. I have Prime 1 and 2 on GameCube. You got Prime 3 on Wii. Got the Steelbook version of Prime Trilogy, the collector's edition on Wii as well. So yeah, I'll get Prime 4 on the Switch 2 when that comes out. But yeah, unless it doesn't come out on Switch 2, which would be weird. But yeah, honestly, you know what? Regardless, it's been long overdue. I'm just glad to see Prime 4 talked about it all. Like it's been a meme because it's like 2017 happened. It got announced, and we've been waiting for 7 years, and nothing. Like 18, we're all like, where is it? Nothing. 19 has to be coming out anytime now. 20, 21, 22. At that point, it's just like, is it not? Does it not exist? 23, nothing still. And finally, I'm like, okay, this has to be the day. It's like the only time. This is like probably the last full Switch Direct we're getting before Switch 2, so it has to be now, and it was. So, not as crazy hype because it's just been so damn long that I think at this point it's more just like finally rather than just being excited. But also, well, I would have been excited otherwise. I kind of just knew that this is it. Like, they already said no Switch 2 stuff, so like we already kind of knew, okay, if they're talking about the Switch 2 or the Switch successor or whatever they called it, like they obviously at this point, they've mentioned it. We know it's coming soon. There's no secret about that. This has to be like the last real Switch Direct. So I mean, Prime 4 has to be here, and it was. So yeah, very cool though. I mean, regardless of me not being like not losing my mind over it, which is fine. It's still cool. Like, I'm just glad it exists. It is nice to see. Like, it's just cool to actually put anything to that logo that we got 7 years ago. I can't believe I was I was like a not even no wait was I a week out of we'll say about a week. I was like about a week out of my sophomore year of high school, man. A week out of my sophomore year of high school. I've been out of high school for over 5 years now. What is that? Yeah, just yeah, it's crazy to think of how long ago that was. Like, put into perspective my other hobbies. Like, okay, the Switch itself, literally like a brand new console, like 3 months old. And now it's like about to be done after like over 7 years. Um, like look at the state of like anime. Like it was like just starting to get popular. Like that was when My Hero Academia was at its like peak popularity. Look at that era. That era is like ancient nowadays. Like no one talks about. Well, people still talk about My Hero, but still like Demon Slayer rose up eventually, and that's already kind of falling off. We already have other stuff like Jujutsu Kaisen, but like anime, the whole community also has just gotten a lot bigger and stuff. We went through the whole pandemic. Look at Bottleman. That didn't start like 3 years after Prime 4 got announced, so it's already dead. Um, Look at Bakugan. Bakugan's reboot didn't even exist when Prime 4 got announced, and Gen 2's been done for over a year. Gen 3 happened and it seems to be dead already. Like, that's crazy. We were early in Beyblade Burst God. Like, it now Burst, it's been done for like nearly 2 years. We're already like a year into Beyblade X effectively. Like, yeah, when you put into perspective how long it's been since Prime 4 got announced until we got literally anything, like 7 years, it's a long ass time. Like, there's been a lot of stuff happening since then. I mean, it's crazy. I might talk more about that later because I just think like it's so interesting to think about how long it's been, and like there was just nothing at all, like no updates whatsoever. Like people talk about like Breath of the Wild being like a long time coming. That was nothing on Prime 4. At least Breath of the Wild got some updates here and there, and it was only like half the length I think in terms of time. But yeah, at least got some updates here and there. But no, this was forever. So I might talk more about that. I might talk about some of the other stuff. Or maybe some of the other hopes I have for Switch 2 eventually. Just make this video a little more interesting. But yeah, that's all for today. I probably sound stupid at this point. I need to sleep. I woke up at like 4. I'm like 6 hours of sleep, which isn't bad. But now it's been a little bit too long. It's like 18 hours awake. It's not like horrible, but I'm just tired. I was listening to. I'm gonna talk about this later. I was listening to every Eminem album recently because he has a new one coming out, and I guess that's another thing with Prime 4. That was before he released Revival, and that was a whole controversy. Now he's like already way past that. Anyway, yeah, I was listening to every Eminem album just because he has a new one coming out very soon, and I listened. I was listening for like the past week, and I got up to Recovery. And today I just listened to like everything, like his last 5 albums, just back to back to back to back to back, in prep because I just wanted something else to do while I waited for the direct. So that's what I opted to do. So my brain is tired. That's a lot of lyrics to take in. Um, that's what I was doing. That's probably a reason why I'm extra tired now. So I'm gonna go to sleep. I'll come back later in the Weekly Blaze, or later in the week to talk more on the Weekly Blaze and about the direct stuff a little bit more, and maybe just some other random stuff for Nintendo. So we'll see what happens with that. But for now, I am going to go to sleep. Alright, it's now Sunday at like 12:30 a.m. So I was gonna talk about Switch and whatnot. And I was gonna actually recap, like I think I said this video, so I wanted to recap what games the Switch had. I realized it's like hard to do, so I'm just gonna say which games the Switch doesn't have because kind of stuff we're missing. Hopefully, maybe some of these happen on the Switch too. But yeah, I don't really have any updated thoughts on the Direct. Kind of just was what it was, and yeah. So as far as things that we don't have on the Switch 2 that, unless if for some reason the Switch 2 is delayed and we're gonna get these things, but I doubt that. But because like obviously yeah, there's stuff like 3D Mario games or whatever. Like there's the obvious stuff, but what didn't we get on the Switch, and will these happen on the Switch 2? I think that's a better topic for me to talk about to end off this video. So first up, there was no Mario Baseball. That should probably happen. Shocked they didn't make a Mario Baseball. Hopefully that one happens. But also, I guess a new Mario Kart. I know Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, we added, a few more characters, we polished up some things, just generally improved the game, had an actual battle mode, and of course threw the DLC in. But then there's the Booster Course Pass, which doubled the length of the game. But I think, an actual new Mario Kart with new mechanics and whatnot, we need that. And I do think that we will get a new Mario Kart. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to keep using 8, so there's that. Aside from that, like Legend of Zelda, we got kind of everything we want. Same with Metroid. Although I assume Prime 4 will be on both consoles, but yeah. Kirby, Yoshi, we got stuff. Wario, we got stuff. We got Luigi's Mansion. Oh yeah, Donkey Kong. Yeah, we got both of the new country games, like the HD versions on the Switch. But yeah, we didn't need a new Donkey Kong game. It's a big one that I hope to see on the Switch too. I guess kind of a more classic trio here. Earthbound, or I guess Mother. Star Fox, F-Zero. I know there's F-Zero 99, but I don't really count that. Will we see a new F-Zero? I actually think this one has a decent chance of happening, but I'm not sure if they'll do it or not. It just depends, really. I'd like to see it, though. There's also Star Fox. I've never really cared too much about Star Fox, honestly, so if we get one, cool, but if not, I kind of don't care. I do think it's a decent chance. I mean, we just got Star Fox Zero a few years ago on the Wii U, so maybe. Will we ever get another Mother game? I feel like we probably won't, but hey, can we ever get like a Earthbound collection or something? That'd be very cool. Let's see here. I mean, we got like most other things. Like there was Fire Emblem games. You had Pokemon games. A lot of Pokemon games, in fact. Pikmin 4, new Animal Crossing. You know, Smash. Okay, Smash. That's a good one to talk about. Because Smash, well, we got a new Smash game, and it was new. I do feel like there was a level of, stuff carried over from Smash 4. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say it's the same. It's clearly a different game. But I kind of hope they switch gears in a sense, because I feel like, Brawl, like, okay, 64 was, the first game. Melee clearly had a different vibe. It was very, it was very different. It was kind of expanded upon a lot of different stuff. And then Brawl changed things up, had the subspace, was more single player focused this time around. First time actually some characters get, removed from the game. Smash 4 is different as well. I feel like it went for a different vibe. Of course, had like this split going on between Wii U and 3DS. Some characters came back, some got removed, But with Ultimate, it very much feels like it was meant to be a culmination of the previous 4 Smash games in one. And I feel like that's kind of its entire identity. I'm sorry to say World of Light is just not interesting, so you don't... I mean, I guess it's kind of like a subspace, like kind of representing Brawl a little bit, but it's not that interesting. You have kind of the, I guess, pacing, not exactly pacing of Melee, but like, I don't know, I feel like competitive, it was more competitive focus this time around, I guess kind of taking from Melee in a sense. Definitely pulling from some inspiration from 64 again with like the starting lineup as well. Kind of focusing on that, and also Smash 4 again. There's a lot just taken from that in general since it was a newer game, and I think they even reused a few assets from it as well. So I want to see an actual new Smash game. I want to see not an actual new Smash game, like just a Smash game that kind of changes things up, where you can like maybe cut the roster in half, add 15 or so new characters, just try something new with this one. An idea I actually had is that I wouldn't mind if they did two Smash games on the Switch 2. Not as in like trying to get more than one Smash game. What I mean is like port Ultimate, maybe add more to Ultimate as well. Just keep making Ultimate like the craziest game of all time and letting that live, but then maybe try to build up something new. Try a new Smash game that's completely different. Will that go overall? I'm not actually sure. But I feel like the problem is like they kind of pigeonhole themselves at this point where it's like, okay, for the next Smash game, you have two options basically. You can kind of just keep going, because like if you remove like eight characters or something and like add a bunch more, it's like why did you even remove characters at that point? Like there's already like 100 characters in the game at that point, you know. So I feel like at this point it's like either you maintain Ultimate and just try to keep adding onto it, and that's going to become more and more impossible, or you just reuse Ultimate and everything that has, and just try to maybe add on more to it. You know, that could be fun. Kind of like you can almost like a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe thing where it comes out like at the start of the Switch 2's lifespan. You know, maybe give us like some DLC year one, and then like year two or year three we get a new Smash and like a fully from the ground up new one. So you still have access to your kind of this big crazy game, but now there's a fully new one as well, and maybe they could then try and build up a new Smash line, and then eventually maybe get like a Smash Ultimate of like these newer Smash games. Something like that could work. I don't know. It's definitely kind of pigeonholed though, because yeah, you either have to keep building on it, or just I feel like this one just do a full reset. But maybe if you do both, could that work? Also, it's possible to do like a Smash Kart where it's like Mario Kart, but like just Nintendo in general. I feel like they were testing the waters with 8, and maybe the reason they did Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is because it's the last Mario Kart, and maybe that's why they did like the Booster Course Fest with it, with a ton of stuff. I don't know. Maybe we won't get another Mario Kart. It could just be Smash Kart or Nintendo Kart or whatever they call it. So we'll see. That one's kind of harder to predict, I would say, but for now I'm hoping for another Mario Kart. If they make it into Smash Kart, cool. But if not, I just want something new in general for that style of game. So we'll see. Um, what else didn't we get on the Switch? I feel like everything else we got, like we got Switch Sports, although I kind of wish they'd make a new one that kind of goes back closer to Wii Sports. Got Xenoblade, got Splatoon, got ARMS. I will say I would like them to try again with ARMS. I do want them to further expand on the concept. Maybe have a bit more, of a single player thing to do. It's a really cool idea of a game. I think most people will agree with that, but it's just that there's just not enough there to make it, stand out. So we'll see. It's a cool series, but yeah, I do hope that they maybe add a little bit more to that. But yeah, I feel like that's the thing is because like okay, there's not much else for me to talk about. Like what else didn't we get? Like Rhythm Heaven, I guess, is another one maybe we can get. But like most other franchises are kind of smaller, and I don't know as much about them. Yeah, I guess Kid Icarus is another one. Yeah, please a fourth Kid Icarus game. Or at the very least, just port Uprising. That'd be something, so it's at least more accessible. But yeah, we have a ton of Switch games, so I didn't go through all the ones we got because again, that'd be forever. So instead, I'm like, yeah, I should just go over the ones that we didn't get, or things that maybe we got, but like I think the Switch 2 could maybe approach differently. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Should probably get some stuff on the Switch 2 fairly soon, I'd imagine, so that'd be nice. But yeah, I think that's everything for that stuff. That's all the direct stuff I want to talk about. Quick update, I guess I should say before I go. This is off topic from direct stuff. This is just YouTube stuff. But yeah, I did actually finish my Beyblade Reimagining series. I didn't record it yet or edit, and that's going to be part 13 is just going to be an absolute just I don't even want to talk about part 13. That's a Hasbro video. There's like 20, 30 Hasbro bases to go over in one part. I don't have them, so I'm going to go through images and stuff, and that's just not going to be fun. It'll actually be a lot easier to record, though, because I want to get out a bunch of bays, so that's nice. But, yeah, image stuff, that's just not going to be fun to deal with, honestly, the editing part of that. But, yeah, aside from that, I also need to do the Bottlemen ranking. That'll be for the 30th. Weiss Tiger should be getting later today, technically. Not later today, tomorrow. So that'll be nice. And that'll be in the weekly plays though, but you know, since that's next week. But I guess it's Sunday, so it is technically next week, but whatever. But yeah, that video will be up the 26th. Or I could just do the 25th, potentially. I don't know why I would need to limit it to the 26th. Like maybe the 25th. We'll see. 25th or 26th. And then the ranking video will be at the 30th. And then I'll do reimagining part 13 July 2nd, part 14 July 4th. And it's not going to be fun to get out, but yeah, I'll do it. And then part 14, though, this is going to be a very fun part for me to do. Actually, really looking forward to this one because these are my original creations. These are my original Bae concepts. I only have two. Which at first is like, why would you only make two concepts for a video on this? Well, I could have made more, but I feel like it's just like, I don't want to force them. I already made so many burst related things. I'm like almost out of gimmicks to use, but I had two saved. Not saved, but I had two in mind that I know for sure are pretty ridiculous and insane, and I think, you know what? These can carry a part on their own. One of them is probably in the highest tier of insanity for Baes I've made. It's up there for sure. And that one, the name of that one is Thunder Rising. So Thunder Rising, that one will be a fun Bae to talk about. But then we have Breeze Fusion. That will be the last Bae I talk about. Breeze Fusion, that Bae. So I said, you know, Thunder Rising is going to be like a top tier crazy Bae. You know, top tier of all the ones I've made. Breeze Rising, or not Rising, Breeze Fusion is number one. This is the most insane Bae I've made. Without a doubt. This is the most ridiculous concept. There is no contest. Maybe there's other ones that are a little bit weirder than this one, although this one's really weird in general. But even if there's something that's on par or weirder than this one I think, just in terms of what it's going to do, is crazier. As a preview, since this video, this weekly play should be coming out either the 25th or 26th, again pairing with the Weiss Tiger video. But as a preview, if anyone actually watched to this point, since the reimagining video is not out till the 4th, the gimmick of Breeze Fusion is that it spins both directions at the same time. I'm not elaborating further on that. Yes, it is physically impossible, so it can't literally do that, but there is a way to mimic being able to spin both directions at the same time. And that is what this Bae is doing, and that is why it's so ridiculous. Maybe that's a preview in case if anyone actually watched this video. So, that'll be fun to talk about. I actually do want to make part 14. Part 13 I don't want to make, but I'm going to do it anyway. Part 14, though, that's going to be a lot of fun, actually, so actually looking forward to that one. I'll make the Weiss Tiger video on Monday, and then after that, probably Monday night, Tuesday, I'll have to do the Bottlemen ranking video. And then start, before July happens, I'll have to start on the reimagining stuff. I'll probably do a day of recording and a day of, like, editing stuff, and that'll be done. Then I have to work on the Bakugan video, and also the other Bottlemen video, was Bottlemen good video, and then the big Bakugan Armors video, and, yeah. So that's, I don't know, maybe this was not a good idea to make July, like, all these big videos at once. Like, maybe I could have just done, like, the whole year I do more interesting videos, but, like, spread out, not all in 1 month. Probably would have been a better idea, but here we are, so yeah, I'll make those videos eventually, but yeah, for now, yeah, that's all for today. And this week, next weekly plays will be the July news week. Also, that is the final weekly plays that will be publicly listed. Everything else is unlisted after that. So yeah, that'll be an interesting one. So I'll do a disclaimer at the start of that video. But for now, that's all for this video. So yeah, thanks for watching, and bye bye.